Hi. It is a warm but dark Monday afternoon, and I am just recording a little introduction to some videos that will be housed in a playlist connected to the Deepenings project. My name is Gemma Garwood. I am an artist and the project leader for the Deepenings project. And all of these videos were recorded on a cold, icy, dark evening last week, Friday the 16th of December. I want to just say a quick thank you to everyone who ventured out so far under the ice and the stars. Some of them from steps away from their houses on the island, but some of them from much further to come and talk or to come and share with us that evening as an audience at the Mersey Museum. That museum is a wonderful place, and I highly recommend that anyone who can get to it come and visit. It houses such a magnificent selection of treasures in a small and cosy, welcoming space, and the knowledge and enthusiasm of the volunteers just really makes it one of the most enjoyable experiences you might have on the island. And it is a magic island. It's a brilliant place. So that's quite a statement to be making. Okay, I'm just going to offer a very short prelude to the wonderful talks in this playlist by talking a little bit about the project. And this is I'm reading from a text that I was reading from on Friday night, so I might riff around it a little, but this is fundamentally what we've gathered together to talk about what the project does. And you can find a lot of this information on our website too, thedeepeningsproject.com, so I recommend you check that out. On the Essex coast, there are places that still feel wild. Places that remember when the water was lower and remember when it was higher. Here the elements sing and squabble. Doggerland feels close. Ancient spirits tell of the homes lost to the water, the hand that built them, and the giant creatures that once sailed up there in the water, above where our heads now. We invite you to join us on an adventure that aims to illustrate poetic versions of the deep past and imagine prophetic visions of possible things to come. 3 female artists, myself, Bethann Briggs-Miller and Eleanor Rowlands, collaborate to read and retell the landscape, developing an experience that can bring magic outdoors to Cudmore Grove, or transport that special landscape back home to you. Ultimately, we will develop an anticipatory folklore, together with the local community, creating songs, stories, characters and rituals that will record and celebrate this place so close to the edge of disappearance. We'll imagine how the very real effects of climate change will affect it and take creative actions, including building a new monument that can hold on to something of the site as the water rises and as the storms come howling more loudly and more often. We will think about what has already disappeared and what we stand to lose here. The outcomes of the project will include an enhanced reality walking trail around Cudmore Grove, guided by an interactive zine. The walk will have 12 stops, each of which will have a story attached to it. There will be interactive elements, and all of the narratives will be co-written with participants. And I'm going to break in here and say that what I mean by an enhanced reality trail specifically is that you will be able to access illustration, soundscape, and video material on your phone. I am overtly stating now that I am a neurodivergent artist, And as wonderful as some of the augmented reality experiences I've had have been for short periods of time, I struggle to find them meaningful in the same way that a deeper kind of storytelling through illustration or sound can be. So I find it more accessible, and therefore feel like it's potentially more accessible for other neurodivergent people to build a richer sense of storytelling rather than just a digital object in the space. The outcomes of the project will include a new monument for the island, consisting of a cairn/barrow and a labyrinth constructed from local earth, broken pottery and oyster shells. Using materials designed to echo the existing burial mound on the island, we will construct a ritual site in and around which our storytelling can take place. By using local and natural materials, we aim to make these monuments, and also our markers for the trail, habitat building rather than disrupting home for the native flora, birds and mini beasts that are so special and abundant in this site. And finally, and I'm really excited about this one, a new folklore festival. To celebrate and take ownership of the new monumental structures, a new festival will be pulled together. Here, the new folktales, songs and rituals we've built over the course of the project, together with local participants, can be performed, shared and celebrated. We will also invite other folk-related performers and creatives from across the local area to get involved. Deepenings is a collaboration between artists Gemma Garwood, Bethann Briggs-Miller, Eleanor Rowlands and the community on Mersey Island. So, why are we doing this? I've been visiting Mersey since I was small, and it has always held so much comfort, wisdom and magic for me. The place is under my skin. It is a site of play and adventure, a place I've gone whilst falling in and out of love, a place I have rested and one where I have worked. It has filled my head with wonderful stories and my belly with good food. I go to feel quiet. I go to seek inspiration, to take me time, to feel connected to something outside of myself, to dream. I have long known that I wanted to contribute to this place that has offered me so much, to give back something deservedly spectacular. Working in the park and getting to know it in a different way for the past 6 months, or more like a year now, has only deepened this desire. This place is magic. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. Twitchers, toddlers, dogs and their human companions, other artists streaming other visions of the place, friends having a stroll and a natter, flustered folks rushing for the foot ferry, but periodically pausing to take in the view. It holds comfort and wisdom for them too. And in the near future, it will have changed dramatically. Predicted sea level rises are expected to wipe out 30 to 60% of Mersey Island's landmass by 2050. In less than 30 years, the sea will wash over the Tudor blockhouse, take under the pillbox skeletons on the beach. She will have eaten more of the cliffs and begun to creep up towards the bird hide. My home in Colchester will be closer to the water than it ever has been before. And while most of the dwellings on the island will be safe enough, the whole landscape will look different. How will the Strood cope? Will it need to be altered to carry folk over, or will they have to turn to boats, just like in the old times? How will it feel to have more water between Mersey and the mainland? To be that little bit further away than before? Realistically, this loss of land is happening all around the coastline of Britain. The money is not there to build or maintain the defences required to keep things just as they are. And this would be an increasingly futile effort anyway. The world has not reacted quickly enough or assertively enough on climate change to stop or even to diminish these sea level rises. This project understands that change is something to be accepted, anticipated, and possibly even celebrated in these coastal environments. So we propose to imagine what the palliative care of this particular place might involve. How might we capture and preserve it as we love it in this moment? Working with the local community together with local artists, we want to collect and contrive an anticipatory folklore, to gather up the magic of the place and stories and songs that can be passed down long after the water has claimed the soil, to enjoy it for as long as we can and record it for that time in the future when we cannot. So please, come along and join us, and together, let's go down to the deepenings. So finally, before I move on to the talks, I'm just going to let you know how you can get involved. If any of this sounds appealing to you now, or if any of the talks spark up some kind of curiosity, do check out our website. Do keep note of what's going on our Facebook page. But there are other opportunities as well. So we've been hosting open artist walks. These are where people can come and meet up for an informal fortnightly walk around Cudmore Grove. You can catch up with me mostly, but Bethan maybe on some of the, to see how the project's moving forward, and take some time to observe and enjoy the seasonal changes in the country park. We will be holding community workshops, so beginning in February 2023. I'll be leading on-site workshops for any age or ability, exploring movement, storytelling, creative writing, song, object and ritual. Bethan will be delivering storytelling workshops and exploring urban rural folk legends with participants between the ages of 18 and 11. Eleanor will be offering workshops that explore the storytelling of living memory and oral history of the island with participants aged 50 plus. You can also help us build the labyrinth and the mound. Work will start on this when the ground has thawed, with construction taking place in earnest during April. But again, just keep an eye on our website and our Facebook page, and I'm sure I will be shouting about that in local news outlets too. We also have done a call out for potters and ceramic artists, so you can donate your broken pottery to the project and it will be incorporated into the monument. More information about that and the submission form can be found on our website. And finally, come along, get involved, come along to the Folk Festival and Launch celebrations. Taking place on May the 1st, 2023, we will launch the trail and the monument with fine entertainments, folk and folklore, both new and established, music, merriment, and tributes to the island. Now that's really quite enough of me talking for now. But do come along and say hello. Introduce yourself if you're interested. And I hope you enjoy the talks that follow on. Many thanks. Now let's go down to the deepenings.